Hey guys, Sakafin, and welcome back to my channel. So this story time, honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't have the energy to do this story time, but I'm gonna try. This is the story time basically of my toxic, jealous friend. So growing up, I had this one good friend of mine, and well, I thought she was good. Everybody else didn't like her. They would ask me why I'm not hanging out with her, and honestly, I thought the girl was cool. Mind you, me and this girl did fight. Okay, so when I first moved up top, I did have some issues with a couple of girls because being pretty in the hood, you have to learn how to fight. I know I said that in my last video, like, you just do. So I had a couple of fights with a couple of girls, and she was one of those girls. So we're gonna give this girl a name. We're gonna call her Ice. We're gonna call her Ice because she's cold as fuck. Me and Ice, we got into a fight, I wanna say in middle school. Yeah, we got into a fight because a lot of people were instigating that fight, to be honest. Like, I did not even know the girl. I didn't know half or any of the girls I was fighting. Like, when I first moved up top, it was just kind of like a rule, like, oh, you have to fight to like prove your point or whatever. So I don't know, like, they were trying to be like the Bronx and Brooklyn and all that, and it wasn't given because no, the girls did not know how to fight. So me and Ice, we got into a fight in middle school, and it wasn't like one of those fight like, oh, you fight and like you go home and like whatever, like you stop talking about it. No, she went to go get her family. So her dad showed up at my house, and it was like a whole big thing with her dad and my mom. But that happened, and we ended up we just ended up reconnecting. Okay, we ended up reconnecting later on in life, and it was about like probably like 2-3 years later on, and we reconnected. Ever since then though, we've been really close. She would be over my house, she would sleep over my house. Like, we were just really close. Like, we would go to girl times all the time. Like, if I went to go get my nails done, like, she would come with me, and I would sometimes pay for her to get her nails done. And like, we'll just go out to eat, and I'll pay for us to go out to eat. Like, I do want to let you guys know that information because it matters. Although I'm not the type of friend to hold it against you, because like, it's what I do as a friend. If I see that, you know, you don't got it, like, it's cool. Like, as a friend, like, I got you, you know, and that's the type of person that I am. I'm just pointing it out because later on it shows that she's gotten used to me paying for a lot of things that she does, and she's gotten very comfortable. Mind you, when I was paying for her things, she did not have a job. She was not working, and I was always working ever since I was probably like, what, 14. Even then, I was doing stuff for money, like snow shoveling for money and stuff like that. So I was like always on my grind type stuff. So she wasn't working, and I really didn't care. But I took notice of, you know, of course, that I'm spending money on her, of course. But did I really care? No, because she's my best friend. We would have little arguments here and there, but we had this one blowout where I felt like I just needed to stop talking to her, and this is what happened. One day we came back from girl time. Girl time is when we either go get our hair done or go get our nails done, and we'll go to eat, either like to McDonald's, because of course I'm paying. Like, if I'm paying for us to get our nails done, I would have enough for us to go to McDonald's. We wasn't going to no Cheesecake Factory. Like, I wasn't spending my whole check on her. At the time, I did have a boyfriend as well, so you know. So we did our girls' day, but it was very cute. I thought it was very cute. So we come back and we go home, right? I'm thinking she went home. I go home, I take a shower, I'm ready about to hop in the bed, and my brother knocks on my door, and it's an aggressive knock, like one of those knocks like, hey, yo. Okay, so I open the door and I'm like, what? He's like, hey, yo, your friend is outside talking about you. Is that your friend? And mind you, like, I have a lot of brothers, like, like there's certain things that I knew as a female too. Like I have morals. Like I knew not to do certain things. So what she was saying that I was doing, it was crazy. And I thought she went home, but she didn't go home. I went home. Okay, so my brother's confronting me and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, well, get outside and confront her because I need to know what's going on. Like, you being nasty out in these streets, I need to know what's going on. So I'm like, okay, fine, like whatever. So I, put on my slippers, I head outside and I see I see Ice and I see Medication. If you see my other story times, you know who Medication is. I'm not even gonna fucking explain it. So Medication, I see Instigator. If you see my other story times, I see everybody was outside. Hell, the whole fucking hood, the whole hood was outside. So I walk up to her and I'm like, what's going on? What did you just say? Like, what's going on? And she's like, not saying anything to me. She's looking down, like, cause she's sitting down and she has her arms like crossed. So she's looking down, she's not saying nothing. And I'm like, so what did you just say? And then somebody, like, I forgot who it was, but somebody like blurted it out what she said. I'm not gonna repeat what she said because it was highly fucking disrespectful. I should have cut that bitch off right then and there. Like I'm not gonna say what she said, but she insinuated that I was doing nasty stuff with a boy. That's what she said. So, my brothers don't play that at the age I was. So, what the fuck? So, and it wasn't even true. Like it really was not even true. Like that's really what got me. It's like what? So. She's not admitting to what she said. I'm like, listen, I don't want to be your friend ever again. Like, what was I gonna do? Like, put my hands on her? Like, I just spent money on this bitch. Literally, we just came from girl time. Like, keep in mind who was there. Medication, Instigator, because that plays on later when we have our final blowout. I'm telling you, these same people that were there, I think she was trying to impress them because every single time this girl acted out, Medication was there, Instigator was there. Like, okay, so keep in mind, because our last blowout, they were there, and I knew she was just trying to get like a fucking rise out of me. So, okay, so that happened, right? So I stopped talking to her for about like a year or two, and this time I'm working at RCC. RCC is Rockland Community College, and I have a summer program there, for teens, and I'm working there, summer job on my shit. I get off the bus, and because I'm coming from work, so I get off the bus and I'm walking in front of McDonald's. I see my cousin, but I see my cousin with Ice. And keep in mind, because that's also gonna play out, like every single time me and this girl have fallen out, like she would just surround herself with either my family or my loved ones, and then she would just like gravitate towards me that way. And yeah, so keep that in mind too, because that plays the fuck out. So I see my cousin, I hug my cousin, I say hi to her. I act like I don't even see Ice because I don't. So I see my cousin, I say hi to her, hugs, kisses, and I keep on walking away because after like I talk to my cousin, like I'm like, all right, girl, I'll see you. I just came from work. Like I want to go home, shower, probably lay my ass down, watch Netflix. Hell, I don't know, but. As I'm walking away, I get a little further and my cousin like calls my name. So I look back and for a glimpse, I see that, what did I name her? Ice is walking towards me. So I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is this shit? So long story short, she apologized. So long story short, she apologized to me, and yeah, we became friends again. And I know y'all probably like, you stupid ass girl. Yeah, I was dumb da da dum dum, dumb as fuck. Okay, so that situation happened, right? Keep in mind, throughout these like rocky situations, like she would also have issues with everybody else because, mind you, nobody liked her. Like everybody would even ask me, like all of my friends would ask me, like, why am I friends with her? Like even my friends that didn't even live in the area where I lived at, they asked me like, why did you just bring her around? Like, why do you like her? Like, and I was just like, what? She's cool. Like, but I noticed that her energy would change when we were around people. It was kind of like she wanted me all to herself. Like, if I was around somebody else, like she would just try to get my attention and make me laugh or something. But like, I don't know, like sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. Like I felt like she was attention seeking, but like seeking my attention. But it was just like, yeah, I didn't notice, y'all. I really just didn't notice. I just thought she was just being funny, and I was laughing because it was fucking funny. Nothing was really fucking funny. Looking back at it, I was laughing at nothing. Nothing was funny. Nothing was funny. But yeah, she just hated everybody that would come around. Another thing is, when I would ask her about the issues that she had with other people, she would just downplay it, and she would just tell me, oh, basically like she wouldn't take responsibility for what she has done. And I didn't notice that until afterward when I was replaying it in my head, and I'm like, oh, like she really never took responsibility for her actions. She always blamed the other person. Like every single time she had a falling out with someone, like has never said what she's done. So I never paid attention to it, but like I said, once I thought about it later on, it made sense. I was connecting the dots, and 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. And I didn't know what the fuck that was. I really did not. So she was having all sorts of issues with other people as well, and her mouth was very foul. I could say that, like, she would just say things that were uncalled for. Like she told one person, like, I'll spit and piss on your grandmother's grave. I also said that too, but I said it like, well, let me take that back, okay? I've said it, but I've never said it to someone, I believe. Have I? I don't know, guys, because like when I was younger, I was really like fighting my demons, and I was lashing out in ways that were a cry for help, but in not inappropriate ways. So I probably said it once or twice. I'm not even gonna hold you, but when I tell you this girl had rants and she would just like violate people, like it was just crazy. It was bizarre. So let's talk about the day leading up to basically our end. So she met this guy, right? We're gonna call this guy Playa. Straight like that, because he's a fucking player. And like, bro, Playa. Like, he was light skinned, tall, like, what kind of car? The BMW, like, Playa. So she met this guy named Playa at the mall, but mind you, she knew Playa growing up. So I guess like she lived in this neighborhood that wasn't, you know, our complex, and she knew Playa growing up. So we saw Playa at the mall one day, right? And they chopping it up, they hanging out again. She gets Playa's number and they start talking. I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm like, yo, do your thing. Hey, do your thing. Because, right? And she was telling me she been wanting Playa ever since they were kids. So I was like, do your thing. Do your thing, bitch. Do your thing. Who am I? Who am I to stand in the way of your fucking true love destiny, bitch? Like, if you wanted him since y'all was kids, bitch, do your thing. Playa and Ice are, you know, chopping it up. They are talking on the regular, okay? And it's like a week. Not even 72 hours, okay? And she's just like head over heels for this guy. So she tells me and my cousin, hey, I want to have girl time. Tells me and my cousin, like, hey, I want to have girl time. Like, let's meet up. Let's do something. So we all meet up at my house and we go to McDonald's because that was like, you go to McDonald's for everything. Go to McDonald's and we're just, you know, making plans. We're like, okay, so we're gonna take a taxi here. We're just gonna go here and get our nails done. But okay, so as we're, you know, calling the taxi is 10 minutes away, and my friend Ice, she gets a phone call, but she leaves the table. So we're like, me and my cousin are like, okay, like we just continue talking because like, I'm sure she'll be back, right? No, she steps outside, but we're still like, okay, maybe it's a little loud in here. Maybe she needs some air. 10 minutes go by. We go outside for the taxi. This girl is nowhere to be found. I wait. She left us at McDonald's and we were just about to leave to go somewhere. Like, where do you think she went? Her man had called her supposedly and told her, oh yeah, I'm in the neighborhood, like, you know, like, what's up? I'm pulling up. So Playa. Y'all wonder why I called him fucking Playa? He's so fucking Playa. How do you get a bitch to leave her homegirls at McDonald's? Leave us for filth, basically. Like, what? Anyways, this shit is giving me a fucking headache talking about it, yo. Like, say hi. Don't kiss me, don't kiss me, don't kiss me. So, homegirl left us at McDonald's, right? And she's chilling with her boyfriend. Time goes by. We let the taxi go because we really just don't know. So, time goes by. We, like, 5 minutes go by, and me and my cousin, we start to text her, call her, and see what's up with her. She's not answering, but she answers a text, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna be right there, da-da-da. Time goes by, like, we start walking back to my house at this point, because, mind you, we were at McDonald's. So we start walking back to my house, and we see him drop her at the bottom of the hill. So she gets out the car, and she's just looking at us, and she walked towards us with like a big ass smile on her face, and we just looking at her like, what, bitch? What? what? Like, mind you, we've been there, done that. But I have never left my homegirls in the middle of girl time to go what? To go what? To do what? Like, what did you guys do for that 10 minutes? She does that, right? And stuff like that, we never held it against her. I never held it against her because there's no point. Like, girl, you're head over heels. I know what Dick Matthias does to you, bitch. You could go. The fuck? There's a difference between Dick Matthias and straight up motherfucking toxic. But it came to a time where her Playa, Jesus, where Playa had a girl call his phone like back-to-back 24/7. So Ice picks up one day, and of course it's another girl on the line, and she's basically telling Ice that Playa is her baby daddy, and you know, she got a baby on the way and stuff like that. So Ice is not trying to let it go though, because she's just like, girl, I would have known, like, I met his mom. But mind you, like, if you meet a guy's mom, that don't mean nothing. Like, the mama is always hiding the damn secret. Like, my mom, what? Let me stop snitching. You wouldn't even fucking know that you are the 5th girl he brought home today, my nigga. Like, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. So so she was just head over heels about him and saying that, oh yeah, you know, I met his mother and he wouldn't lie to me, but the receipts is receipts. So that ended up being true. So he ended up having a baby mama, and that whole drama happened, right? Let's just say that whole drama happened. And I was there for her. I was still being a friend. Mind you, through that whole ordeal, I was getting bits and pieces from her because, again, she's a Gemini. She's very evil, and calculated. Like, she would rather think about her plan rather than to say it. So she would tell me, like, bits and pieces of what's going on. Like, okay, this girl called the other night. Okay, so what she say? She said, that's his baby mom. And I'm like, okay, so what's up? Like, it was bits and pieces. Like, I had to ask questions to really get the story. And plus, I had to get the tea from other people and his family to get the damn story. Like, me. And I was being there, for her as much as I could. Because, again, I was also in a relationship at this point. Not that I really gave a fuck about my relationship, but I was going through high ends and fucking waters in this relationship, like on some real shit. I was trying to survive and then some. I don't want to say I was down bad because I was working, I was getting my things, I was surviving, but like I had to take care of myself, and I also had to take care of this evil, narcissistic, grown-ass man. And I was also dating this lame ass dog ass nigga, but also I was not even living in the same state as well, because I moved to Jersey. I was living in Jersey for about a year and some change. Like I said, because she was dating, what did I name him, Playa? She didn't mind that I wasn't spending as much time with her. Like, yeah, I was there to console her, but like, we weren't really having girl times because she was expecting me to pay for a lot of things, and that's what kind of led up to our fallout. She's no longer dating Playa, and now she's hanging out with me and my dude, and we all know crazy ass ex-boyfriend Pride. And y'all know why I call him Pride at this point. It's no secret. He was definitely prideful, but that nigga was definitely prideful. Okay. So she was hanging out with me and Pride more, and we didn't want her to feel like she's third wheeling, so we invited our good friend. We introduced her to our good friend, Dolph. Well, not really introduced her because she already knew Dolph. Like I said, I knew Dolph, and because I knew Dolph, like, Dolph will work at certain places. Like, if he worked at McDonald's, like, in the summer, we'll pull up to his job. He'll give us, like, free ice cream, free everything. Like, we have her link up with Dolph. Mind you, she knew Dolph. She always kind of flirted with Dolph. Dolph always liked her. Like, he always liked her. So, they're in the backseat, they're chopping it up. But one thing about her, like, she would like to flirt with Dolph, but to an extent. Like, it was like she wasn't trying, it was kind of like giving, like, she wasn't trying to go all the way there with him, but like she would do things to get his attention. Like, it was so weird. Like, it was so weird. Like, this is draining to even talk about it. But it was like to an extent. Like, if Dolph would like try to like get closer to her, she'll be like, no, oh, like, get the fuck off of me, like, get the fuck off of me. But I guess, like, if he did it in public, I don't know, it was like certain times, like, she just wouldn't allow Dolph to, like, not even like touch her, but like just be near her sometimes. Like, it was weird. It was really weird. It was really weird. Kind of like they were married. And she just needed some space sometimes. Like, it was weird. But she always flirted with Dolph, like, heavy. And that's what gave us mixed signals. Like, not only him, but it gave me and Pride mixed signals too, because we're looking at her like, girl, is you having fun or what? But when I would talk to her, she's just like, yeah, like, what's up with Dolph. Like, what's up with Dolph. Like, she wouldn't say it like, what's up. Like, she wouldn't say it like, oh yeah, I'm about to lay this on. No, she was just like, what's up with Dolph. Like, Dolph was just like that flirtatious guy. Like, he would always flirt with my friends. Like, he's just like a flirtatious guy. So, yeah, like, he's a ladies' man, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't see a woman having a problem with Dolph, to be honest. And the fact that she ended up having an issue with him, it just says it the fuck all. Like, it says it the fuck all, bro. There would be issues like that where they would, like, kind of argue. But like I said, it was kind of like an old married couple. But anyways, so one day, right, I guess she's really not in the mood. So she texts me. She's like, hey, can you pick me up? I'm like, ugh, I'm with Pride's dumbass. Like, and I really hated Pride's ass. Like, I hated his ass. I hated his fucking guts, bro. But with this day, I guess we were doing something. So I was with Pride. So I was just like, all right, but I'm with Pride and I'm with Dolph. Like, you know, I'm just trying to do my shit, and they hear the fuck, they hear. She's like, okay, come pick me up from work. So I go pick her up from work, and she's in the backseat with Dolph. But this time, she is angry, upset. She's like, Pride, can I sit in the front? Can I sit in the like, because I'm driving at this point. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she's just angry. So this time, she's being very precise, and she's just like, can I sit in the front? Can I please sit in the front? Like, I want to sit next to Bree. And she's telling Pride this, and Pride is like, no, like, no, like, you know, like, you could wait till we get where we're going. Like, he was one of those, like, he was pretty rude, but she's just like, oh my god, like, oh my god. So Dolph is in the backseat, like, what, you don't want to sit next to me? Like, all of a sudden, like, you don't want to sit next to me? And she's just like, no, I don't. I just don't. And mind you, the day before they was kicking it, and they was boo loving. So I was wondering, like, why she was acting the way she was acting. But then again, that's her personality. Like, she switches up like that. Like, it could be literally, like, in a second. Like, she would switch up. So I'm like, okay, like, that's just a little weird. So we finally park, and she's just like, oh my god, I need to smoke. Mind you, at this time, she's working, but she did not throw nothing. And mind you, I'm that type of friend. Again, I'm not going to ask you to throw, especially if I got it. So what did I do? We smoked. We smoked, right? She finally calms down a little bit, and she just still has her stupid, dumbass attitude. And now she just at this point, like, she just wants to play fight. And I don't know why people do this, but, like, I don't like to play fight. I really do not like to play fight. It has led me into some fucked up situations. Like, I do not want to play fight. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Like, the fuck? So she begins on smacking me on my leg. And mind you, this is during the summertime. So I had shorts on. So she's smacking my leg while I'm sitting down. So I'm smacking her leg. And I have Haitian hands, honey. Like, girl, they definitely, you gonna feel it. So she smacked my leg. I smacked her leg. And she's just like, ow, like, what the fuck? And then so she gets up. She smacks my back. So now I'm thinking, like, bitch, like, now I'm getting up because I'm like, girl, like, what is you on? What is you on? But, like, she's looking like she's play fighting, but I'm not really trying to play fight. I'm just like, bro, like, can you leave me the fuck alone? Like, chill the fuck out. Like, you just hit me mad hard on my back. Like, this is what I'm telling her. And she's just like, okay, smiling, backing up. So I sit back down. She comes to sit back down with me, and I smack her leg. Caught her off guard. And she's just like, ah, what the fuck, dude? I was just like, yeah, that's how my back felt. Like, don't hit me. Don't hit me. So she gets up again, and I get up immediately at this point, because at this point, like, bitch, what is you trying to do? Like, why are you trying to play fight with me right now when I'm trying to be cute? Like, why is you trying to play fight with me? So we play fighting, and at this point, like, I literally pick her up like I was a nigga, y'all, and I not slammed her on the bench, but, like, I put her on the bench, and I would just start smacking her legs, anywhere that I could see skin, because you know I have Haitian hands. If I smack you, you're gonna feel it. So I'm just smacking her on the bench. She's laughing, she's rolling, laughing like you. It looks like she's having a ball, fucking getting smacked up, and I'm like, yo, this girl is evil in my head. But I didn't say it because I'm like, no, she's my friend. That went on for about like a good 25 minutes. I kid you the fuck not. Like after that, like it just killed the vibe, because like I was not letting up and she wasn't letting up. So we was both not letting up. Like every single time she would hit me, I would hit her back. Like, what the fuck? Is this tag bitch or it? I don't know what's going on. Like, girl, bye. I wasn't letting up, she wasn't letting up, and it went on for about 20-25 minutes, and then I took her home, and then I went home, right? So that happened. Little shit like that just be happening, y'all. So this is the day that we actually fell out, okay? So all the stories that I told you has led up to this day where we actually fell out, where I actually said, you know what, girl, I think I'm good on your friendship. So her birthday's coming up, right? And it's in May. And I'm basically asking like, hey, what do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want to do for your birthday? She would always tell me like, hey, I'm going to do something like a boat thing with my cousins, just immediate family. You know, I just want to keep it close and tight-knit this year. And I'm like, okay, cool. So like, I didn't know if that was me getting an invite or not. So I was just like, family, close-knit, tight fit. Because like I said, I just felt the drift. Like everything that I've told you guys in this video, like you could feel the drift in our friendship. Like we were just growing apart. Like I was moving on and she was moving on, you could say. So we were just drifting apart. I'm like, I don't know if I'm tight-knit, close family, immediate family member. So I'm just gonna take it as I'm gonna save a dress and you know I'm gonna save a present, but I don't know if I'm gonna be there. So that's what I was thinking. So that's the first time I asked her. The second time I asked her, she's like, yeah, I definitely still want to do the boat. Like, are you still coming? Da, da, da. She asked me if I was still coming, but she never gave me like a proper invitation. Like, but then again, I don't know. So, but yeah, so she asked me if I was still coming. I was like, oh yeah, girl, you know. Mind you, I did not know the location of the party. I did not get a flyer. I did not know the time. I did not know anything other than that it was a boat. And I could have went to Manhattan and just showed up at the damn, you know how many boat shops there? Like, come on, really? And this was another thing that I hated about her. Like, every single plan she had, like, it always flopped. Yet, if I were to plan something, not saying that I'm the planning queen, but yeah, I am. I'm very fucking organized. Like, I can't stand people like that. I cannot stand. It's my biggest pet peeve. Like, I would curse you out if you tell me, oh, we're going somewhere, and it just ends up to be shitty. Like, the time schedules, like, you didn't get the time right. Like, I'm there 2 hours early. I would get so fucking pissed. Learn how to plan. Like, it's so fucking easy. Learn how to plan and you'll learn how to pay bills. How about that? That's how I feel. So she was planning this boat thing, you know, with her cousins and immediate family. And I just felt like it was going to fall through because all her plans fall through. It does. So I was like, okay, it's not going to happen. So, you know, probably like 3 weeks before her actual birthday, I, you know, hit her up again. Like, hey, what you doing? This is the third time I'm asking her, y'all. And she's like, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even think I'm going to have it. 3 weeks before her birthday. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Okay, like, I'm not going to ask you any more times. Like, any more times. I asked her 3 times with her before her birthday. And I asked her once 3 weeks before her birthday. So at this point, if you don't know, bitch, I don't know. Like, hit me up if you want to get drunk late at night. Like, I don't know. So I didn't ask any more times after that. Her birthday finally comes. I hit her with the cutest paragraph because you know that I'm that friend. And you know, she really hits me with a dry response, and I'm like, okay. And I noticed that she didn't post anything on her Snapchat, but we had this other friend, well, my cousin, and my cousin also had her on Snap, so she seen her posting stuff, and I noticed that I wasn't able to see any of the stuff that she was posting. So I was just like, oh, I'm like, okay. So that happened, right? And she hits me up probably like a week, 2 weeks after her birthday, and she is complaining. She's having a bad day. She is saying, oh yeah, no, I need a blunt, like I need a blunt. So I'm like, okay. So I pick her up from work, and I'm like, hey, listen, I gotta go get Pride and Dolph. And she's just like sucking her teeth, like roll her eyes because she did not want to see Dolph. And I really just didn't know what was going on with that, like, because like I said, they were boo loving, and maybe she just regretted it. I don't know. But Dolph was really cool, like I said. Like, he wasn't like a pervert where he was always touching people. Like, he was just a flirtatious guy. We go pick them up, and then we go to the park, and listen, so we smoke like 2 blunts, and usually we be smoking more. So I ran out of trees, and I'm about to go cop. So I asked her at this point, do you want to cop? Like, this is the first time in the history of times I've ever asked her if she wants to go cop. Maybe it was a bad day. Maybe shorty. I just said shorty. But I was like, maybe Ice doesn't want to, you know, like, maybe she has someone at home. Like, I don't know. But she just kept smoking. So I'm like, maybe I'm going to ask her. So I was like, are you going to cop? Like, do you want anything? She was like, oh, like, you know, do you want to go half with me? So I'm like, okay, so what are you going to get? She's like, oh, we could get a dime. So we go half, and it's 5 and 5. That makes a dime. So I'm like, and mind you, we're with other people too. So I'm just like, listen, like, what? You want to cop a dime? She's like, yeah, that's all I got. I'm like, how much do you have? She's like, but like, either way, like, it wasn't enough for a dime. So I'm just like, okay, so like, meet me halfway. Like, try to get 10. And then, you know, I'm going to cop, like, I was going to cop something greater. Cop of 50, and she was going to get a 10, so it was going to be a 60. I was going to cop that and just give her the 10 out of the 60 because I was already gonna cop a big amount. Just throw that on there. It's kind of bigger, I guess. But so that's what she ended up doing, right? She ended up getting 10, and we ended up copping that. I gave her the dime. She didn't say nothing about it, but keep in mind, because the next day that's gonna play out. I give her the dime, and we're smoking because I'm rolling up. I think she rolled 1 blunt. I'm not even gonna hold you. She didn't say anything about the size of the dime that I gave her. She was very accepting of it, and we smoked. So we ended that night like that, right? I think it was like the next day or 2 days after that. Because keep in mind, this is during quarantine. Like, everybody was... You're not supposed to be outside during the summer, but there was this like one park where you would go to, and it's always open. Shut up. Shut up. We goes to the parks because that was a kick-ass spot during COVID. Like, what was COVID? What? Anyways, so I get this call again. Ring, ring. Oh, girl, I need you to come pick me up right now. I need you I can't fucking do this job no more. I need you to come pick me up right now. It's like every time this bitch has called me, it's always when, like, she's fed up with this damn job or fed up with something and she needs me to, like, pick her up. So I'm like, yo, like, I low-key did not even feel like going. But I'm like, you know what, whatever. Because she's my best friend, right? So I leave the guys at the park, and I go pick her up. And as I'm picking her up, though, like, I get a call from this, like, realtor, and he was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna need you to come in. And the office was, like, kind of on the way. It was right there next to me, and it was far away from her. So I was just like, all right. So I call her back, and I'm like, hey, I need to, you know, go do this real quick. Like, can you just, you know, take the bus and meet me in the Spring Valley Park? So she's like, oh, why do I need to take the fucking bus? Like, just come. And I'm like, no, because I really have to go, you know, take care of this, because if I don't, like, it's just not gonna be done as fast as I need it. Like, I just need to, like, get it done. And then she's just like, okay. So she sucks her teeth and just tells me, okay, like, the bitch, I was coming to get you. Like, it was kind of like she expected it, y'all. Throughout our whole friendship, like, the more I did for this girl, the more she expected me to do more for her. And it was like, it was insane. I am driving back to the Spring Valley Park because, you know, like, I'm done with what I gotta do. And she calls me. She's like, wait, where the fuck you at? But she sounds like she's giggling over the phone. So I'm like, oh, I'm like at the light. I'm just about to turn into the park. Like, I'll be right there 5 seconds. She's like, oh, I thought you were fucking here. Like, why would you? I said I had to go handle. It's like we were arguing like I was her nan. Like I was her nigga. Like, bro. She's like, oh, I thought you were fucking here. I'm like, I was just up the street handling something that I needed to handle. That's why I told you to take the bus, you dumbass. Like, why would I tell you? But I'm laughing while I'm saying this, too. Like, it sounded like we were playing. But once I got to the park, so I get to the park. I finally get to the motherfucking park. I pull up on the motherfucker. And she's just standing there. She looks pissed. But clearly she's not pissed at me because I did not do nothing wrong. That's what I'm thinking. Like, why would the bitch be pissed at me? Parked the car and I opened the door, right? So she comes through the driver's door. Oh, thank you. She comes to the driver's door and she's standing there. She's like, oh, what's up? Like I need to smoke. Like, I need to smoke. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, relax. Like, what's all this about? She's just like, no, because the dime that you gave me, like, she didn't like the dime. So now she's going in like, oh, it was basically too small, and like I should give her a little bit more, like, of the bag because she felt like I skimmed her out of the dime. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. You said you need to smoke. She's really acting like a fiend right now, but at this point, I'm not trying to argue with this bitch. It was during COVID. Like, I wasn't really working. I was collecting my government employment checks, like unemployment checks. So I really wasn't trying to argue with the girl. So she is like, yeah, give me another dime. Give me another dime. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so I reach into like my stash area and she's kind of like peeking to where like I put my stash or whatever. And so I gave her a dime, right? And she's looking at it, and she's just like, you see? And now she's laughing. She's looking at it. She's like laughing. She's like, you see? See, I knew you was gonna do this funny shit. See, I knew you was gonna do this fun. So I'm looking at the dime like, what? You don't want it? And Dolph is in the backseat. He was like, I'll take it. Like, you don't want the dime? Like, she gave you your shit yesterday. Like, you didn't say nothing about it yesterday. And she's like, who the fuck is talking to you, Dolph? Like, now she's screaming at Dolph. So we're looking at her like, oh yeah, she's on 100 today. Like, usually she's on 10, but no, she's on 100 today. Cause bitch, what? So she starts screaming at Dolph, and we're like, yo, what are you on? Calm down. Like, you want to smoke, we're all going to smoke. So at this point, I'm rolling up, and she's just like, no, Brie, I need to talk to you. Like, can I talk to you? And this is when I should have just fucking, I really should have just, like, sat in the car and rolled up my weed and just pretended like I didn't see this bitch. For real, because, like, it was on some bullshit. So she's like, can I talk to you, right? So we get out the car, right? Keep in mind, this is when medication and younger sister name, we're going to call her Fast. Like I said, I'm gonna keep all these names, so remember them. Medication, Fast, Instigator, they are siblings and they are the ones who terrorized up top. So keep in mind of these damn freaking names. But Medication was there, so, and she was also there the first time this Ice acted up with me. She was there for the first time, second time, and third time, which is this time, where we fell out. And this is why I feel like she has showed out for this girl numerous of times, and I don't know why, because her and Medication, they were constantly fighting. Me more than me and Medication. Like, Medication loved to fight me because I gave her a run for her money, but no, she loved to fight, what did I call her, Ice, because she would just like, me and Ice are walking because she said she needed to talk to me. So we're kind of walking, but I'm kind of like slowly walking with her. And I noticed that Pride and Dolph is right behind us. Mind you, nobody liked Ice. So people did not trust her. So that's why I think Dolph was right behind us and Pride was right behind us. Because they did not trust her. Like, the way she was acting, like, I don't know. Maybe they felt something was about to go down, but I did not feel it. So she gets to a certain point and then she tries to like grab my shirt and put me in a headlock. So I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So I automatically like just get away from her. Now we're scuffling and I put her in a headlock, right? And it's kind of like big sis, little sis, like wrestling right now. So she's in a headlock and I'm trying to like tilt her over, but I'm trying to wait till she stumbles, right? So she's just like, get the fuck off me, get the fuck off me. I'm like, no, like, you put your hands on me first. So now it's really looking like big sister, little sister fucking fighting, bro. Like, looking back at it, I'm like, bro, this is so fucking stupid. So she finally stumbles with her leg and I like twist my body and now she's on the floor and I'm on top of her. I get off top of her because like, I don't even know if we're seriously fighting. Like, I don't pull her hair. Like, mind you, she's on the floor. I could have done kicked her in her motherfucking face. I did not do nothing. So I got off of her and she's just on the floor. She dusts herself off. She's dying laughing, y'all. And this is what makes me like look at her like, yeah, this bitch is evil. Like, every single time she was thinking something, she was just always laughing. She was always laughing. There was not a motherfucking time where this bitch wasn't laughing. It could have been like, oh yeah, your grandma died. She would be laughing. She's like she would be laughing. That bitch was crazy. So she gets up, right, and she's just like, come on, square up. So at this point, I back up and I'm like, hey, listen, if you put your hands on me, we're never gonna be friends again. Like, and I literally had to look her dead in her motherfucking eye to let her know this, because at this point everybody's around. Not only Medication, but I got damn near fucking Pride and his homeboys, his dirty ass homeboys around watching this shit. It was just so fucking embarrassing because already I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy where I was at, and I wasn't happy that if she had a problem with me as a friend, as a sister, as long-term fucking friends that we were, I thought she would have pulled a bitch aside, but no, like, so I'm dead looked that bitch in her motherfucking eye, and I was like, girl, if you put your hands on me, we're dead ass fighting, and I'm not your friend. She's like, I don't give a fuck. So I'm like, is it your relationship with shit? Is it your relationship with Player? Like, is it that situation? Because like, what's going on? Like, girl, you taking it out on me? Like, I was literally trying to figure it out before I put my hands on this girl, because it wouldn't have been good, and it wasn't. So she's like, no, bitch, like, you stupid bitch. Now she's cursing me the fuck out, and at this point I'm just like, all right, come on, let's get it. I'm like, okay, come on, let's get it. So we squaring up right now, and boom, we getting it in, y'all. We just getting it in. And if you see me fight, I don't have to tell you nothing more. So we getting it in, and people are breaking us apart. But at this point, when they break us apart, she goes, right? She takes this big ass brick. Kid you the fuck not. The brick was bigger than my head. She picks it up, and now she's running after me with this brick. Now, my friend did something bad that I didn't like. I would like tell them about it, and if they didn't get it, yeah, I'll probably put hands on them, but not this way. Not in a point where I'm just gonna run after you with a fucking knife. Not that she did, but like, really, you took up a big ass brick and now you're chasing me with it? Not only me, every single person that got in her way to throw it at me, she would literally try to throw it at them. And it was like people were getting harmed and they did not want to put their hand. Like, Dolph, I swear, like, y'all would have to know Dolph for real, for real. Like, Dolph was even going to rock her. And Dolph has never put his hands on a female. Like, never. I can advocate for that. Because I see him in some toxic relationships and he hasn't thrown not one. Hell, I smacked and punched Dolph in the face one time and he didn't punch me back. So I know that for a fact. So like, she was just like doing the most trying to get to me. So at this point, right, everybody's out the way and she gets to a close range. She throws the brick. I dodge it. She missed. And now she's just looking for another brick to pick up. So I pick up the brick and I throw it like across the street because like, bitch, are you stupid? Are you dumb? I'm like, hey, yo, somebody get her. Somebody get her. Because at this point, my hair is out my ponytail. Like, my shirt is barely hanging on for dear life. Like, I just need to take a break. She's looking for another brick. So at this point, like, everybody that's gotten involved to try to stop her from throwing something at me has been injured by this girl, and nobody's really trying to hit her. Because another thing that I didn't tell you is one of her cousins is the biggest gang members in Spring Valley. And if you know, you fucking know. Like, and that's the only reason she did not get hit. That's the only reason she did not get hit. So everybody just knows who her cousin is, and nobody's trying to sock this girl. So at this point, my only chance of reasoning is to call the police, and that's what I did. Y'all can call me a cop caller. Y'all can.
Cop caller.
I was under attack.
That bitch a snitch.
I was under attack.
Snitch.
Like, I wasn't clear-headed for that, and she knew that. And that's another thing that I want to say, because this girl knew how I fight. She knew how I get ready to handle business. So if she would have said something to me over the phone, she knew I would have came to that park differently. She was laughing over the phone the whole time. So I never picked up on the signal, bro. She didn't want me in that type of space because she knew. She knew. She took advantage of me. Bro, she took him, and that's what stuck, bro. That's what stuck. The cops come, and I don't tell them any information, and she doesn't tell them any information too. Like, I just wanted to like stop the altercation because, like I said, it was getting out of hand. Like, it was getting out of hand. Like, she was bleeding in her hand. Like, I don't know what the hell she picked up. Probably glass to probably poke me. I don't know. It was some type of demonic shit happening, and it was just like, there's no way that she could have been my friend. Like, there's no way that she could have been my friend. Absolutely no way. No way. Not whatsoever. Not whatsoever. So we fought, and ever since then, I have not spoken directly to her. Like I said, she would go around my friends, she would go around my family, my loved ones, and she would try to, you know, get closer to me like that. Recently, she had reached out to my little brother to try to get a hold of me to see if we could have a conversation. And I don't even know what the conversation would be at this point. I really don't even know if I want to even hear the bullshit. Like, I know what happened. I know what happened, and I think you knew what happened. So, yeah. We knew what happened. So, yeah. That happened. She tried to reach out to me through my little brother and also a couple of other friends. She even confided in my other friends, basically telling them just a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't really need to disclose in this video, but I just felt like if you really felt that way about me, you should have just spoken to me about it. Because that's how I communicate. I damn sure don't communicate like that, and she's gonna learn. She's gonna learn the hard way. I would never, ever speak to that girl ever again. You were wishing that on me. You were jealous. There's no other reason as to why you would do that other than jealousy. Yeah, I know I said I was gonna make this into 2 parts, but I guess I ended up telling it in one, which is a good thing because I do not have to waste any more time on this video. I'm glad I got this video out the way. I've been procrastinating on whether to do it or not, to be honest. But yeah, that's my story on my jealous toxic friend. And basically what I learned out of this situation is choose your friends wisely, but also make time for your girlfriends, I guess. That is the story, guys. If you guys made it through the whole video, I thank you so very much. I really appreciate you guys really for sticking here with me through it, and I really hope that you guys continue to stick with me as I evolve in life and as I evolve in YouTube. And all right, I'm gonna leave you guys here. Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share. Please follow me on Instagram, so you could be notified as soon as I'm going to post content. Turn your post notifications on and holla at your girl.